Rearranging equations. What this is talking about is if you're given a formula and you have a missing piece and you need to start isolating that variable to find out what it equals, this is an algebraic way of practicing how to manipulate equations without giving any numbers. So you can still use the same algebraic processes that go with what we've been doing for solving equations and inequalities, but now you're learning how to manipulate formulas. Formulas are going to be something that comes up in geometry as well. So you can see strings of numbers anytime they're next to each other. That just means multiplication. You can multiply numbers in any order and they're going to give you the same response. So like A times B times C is going to be the same thing as B times C times A. The reason I'm mentioning this is because if you wanted to rearrange something like SU equals VRT and you needed to solve for R, well, you could do VTR. And then you'd have a real nice problem. Okay, I'm going to divide by VT. So you can see that whatever we're multiplying by, and you could do this one step at a time as well, and I'll show you both whenever we get to the examples. You could do it one step at a time, or you can go, I can do both of these at the same time. V times T. All right, well, what's the opposite of that? Dividing by V times T. Got it. Now, whenever we're talking about addition, subtraction, definitely suggest going one step at a time, moving one variable over to the other side until you're getting that one variable by itself. And I would also say that, using the term isolate the variable, get it by itself. This would lend itself for you to look at the problem prior to starting it and go, what kind of approach do I want to take? Am I going to move this here? Or am I going to move that there? Let's take a look. So, whenever I was looking at these, hey, I know that. Interest is going to be whatever you earn in compound interest minus your principal, right? That's how you find the amount of interest you got in compound interest. So whenever we're solving for A, that means we have to figure out how to get A by itself. That would be, all right, to get A by itself, we're subtracting P from it, right? So that would mean we need to add P to it. But what I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. This creates a zero pair like we've been talking about in all of the equations that we've been solving. So now we have I plus P equals A. Done. So we're using algebraic ideas to rearrange equations. Now, this is circumference equals 2 times the pi times the radius, which is also the same thing as circumference equals pi times diameter. 2 times the radius is the diameter. So, and you're going to see that in the third problem. So this is how to rearrange to solve for a missing piece with circumference. Now, we want to isolate R. I'm just going to go ahead and circle it. That leaves 2 times pi being multiplied by R. Well, how do we undo multiplying by 2 pi? Well, we divide by 2 pi. What I do to one side, I do to the other side. So this would be circumference divided by 2 pi equals radius. Cool. Now, radius is your diameter divided by 2. It's, okay, well, what if I know the radius and I have the 2, but I don't know what the diameter is? Well, let's rearrange it and it'll answer the question. D divided by 2. I'm going to circle the thing we want to isolate, D, and we're dividing it by 2. To undo dividing something by 2, I use its inverse operation. I multiply it by 2. Times 2 times 2. So 2r equals diameter, which makes sense because a radius plus a radius equals a diameter, or a radius times 2 equals a diameter. It's become twice as long.